neither of them...
Oh, Steve from Blue's Clues is out!
Judge Buzzard springs into action. And it's on.
Like the judge is going after them on foot himself.
Two escapees are in handcuffs and prison-issue sandals.
Oh, he ate shit. He's like the Terminator out here.
This bright orange clue here.
He's just slow riding it.
Made it to the 3rd floor.
Uh-oh. Here he comes. Man, this guy loves
And
justice.
Now to the 2nd, just 1 floor away from freedom.
Oh God!
Buzzard is gaining some ground.
Judge Buzzard! About to fucking eat him! Oh!
The judge tackles the lagging defendant just outside the
Damn
exit
it.
to the building. Both have second-degree escape added to
Yep,
their
there you go.
charges.
I didn't try to escape to get out. I tried to escape to get well, and I tried to do what I could, do what I could do to get my drug addiction.
What?
We're heading out to Jackson, Michigan. to the
Okay.
4th Circuit
I mean, I
Court.
guess that makes sense. He was just running from the courthouse to rehab. He didn't want to wait.
This man, Jacob Larson. This incident's a violation of a restraining order against Jacob.
All those messages were like, a lot of them were like last year.
Man, you really can't afford like a usable camera here. This quality is abominable. It's like a fucking picture of Sasquatch.
4 months earlier.
Yeah, I know, but it's like this, like, fatal attraction.
Are there even people here? This is just like a video game glitch, like when you go out of bounds.
I told you, you know what? I told you to leave her alone. And apparently that...
Oh, please fight again. God damn it, I want to see it again.
Today, you're going to jail for the jail.
You and her are all
You know what? You got a bad attitude. You had a bad attitude last time you were in court. Okay?
You and her are buddy-buddy. Y'all get along.
He's probably fucking your girl. What do you think about that?
County jail. You want to go for a year? Try it right now.
Do it.
One more word.
He's bluffing. He doesn't have the power.
Over Facebook.
You're going to jail for a year in the county. 365 days county jail. Can't do it.
What do you mean you... It's crazy how many people say you can't do that. He's the fucking judge. Like, what do you mean? This man can tell you have to stand on a corner with your butthole flexed in front of a traffic light if you wanted to.
Put your hands behind your back. Get to know you all too much. I'm good for 93 days.
It holds true. The quickest way to tell when someone's an insufferable asshole is when they call themselves a good person or a nice person. That's how you immediately know that you will never like that person, and they certainly are not good or nice.
As he pulls out what appears to be...
He's going in!
No one seems to notice until...
He's making a statement.
Shockingly, he lights up. And this time it's noticed immediately.
Hey! We the people deserve better.
Oh, what a hero.
Finally,
My man.
this case.
Hey! We the people deserve better.
And on that day, weed was legalized.
Taken away by the court officer, slapping Boston with a disorderly conduct charge, as well as another charge of possession.
But he can sleep easy at night knowing that he was on the side of justice and brought change. The joint that changed everything.
There's a lot of things that you can do, and your life doesn't have to be over.
That is a useless law, but that was such a fucking dumb idea. Like, what did he expect? My God, he's so brave. That's it, I'm changing the law right now.
Apparently, here's some snickering from Casal's family sitting in the gallery.
What the fuck?
You can go too. Whoever can sit here at a tragic moment like this and laugh and smile.
No, throw her in jail. Fuck that. If I was a judge and heard that, she'd be going right to jail. Fuck her.
You cannot come down
What
to
a
the
piece of
Frank
shit.
Murphy Hall of Justice. Ma'am, you are being taken into custody for criminal contempt. Your disruptive and disrespectful behavior disrupted today's proceedings, and you, ma'am, are going to the Wayne County Jail for 93 days for direct contempt.
Now that's what I'm fucking talking about. Well, it's been a while since I've had a full-blown justice boner, and that just triggered it. I wish it was more than 93 days, though.
Donna seems to have learned a serious lesson from just one night behind bars.
Don't you fucking dare let her out.
Miss Foster, is there something you'd like to say?
Yes, I deeply apologize.
In fact, laugh at her. Laugh at her. Laugh in her face. A hearty belly laugh. Ho ho ho. Ha ha ha. Judge reprimands father of 40 children. Holy shit. 40?
Next, we're in Miami, Florida, where Judge Nusheen Safie's about to
Thanks for Brian
recognize a
Christ.
familiar name on her bond hearing docket.
Johnny Ray Smith Jr. Oh my God.
These two have a storied history, and you're gonna hear all about it. In that same case, Smith revealed to the court that he had fathered more than 30 children.
God damn.
Remember she was pregnant and she had another kid, so I'm at 40 now.
Holy shit. All of a sudden, two people in the chat are like, wait a minute, it's my dad.
No, listen, I never went back to the house. I never called.
You didn't listen to anything I said.
No, I did. I left.
She seems a little interested. She's playful with you. You might be looking at another 10 children coming up soon.
Smith's charges today,
as well as the allegations before the court at this point in
Just
time.
make it clear that my history with him is as a judge.
Mr. Smith.
You're not staying there, correct?
So what is he here for? Just to like brag about how many kids he has?
Mr. Smith, just
Ditched
answer
her with
yes
2
or no.
kids. Condoms, use them.
Okay.
That's
Thanks for
fucking
being
nuts.
a fan of Court Cam.
40 kids. Holy shit. Man caught with drugs in the courtroom, huh?
filled with some kind of powder. He's not entirely sure what it is. So he has it tested.
He snorts it.
It turns out to be cocaine.
Jackpot.
So the court...
Are these the potential suspects?
And this man steps up to the gate. Watch closely as he moves his hat. One more time.
Why would he bring cocaine here? And put it in his hat, of all places, the worst place to put it.
Arrest.
Thanks for being a fan of Court Cam.
What a fucking horrible idea. That's like the one place and one hiding spot you would never want to use. Man gets 100 days for sassing the judge. Good. Let's see the sass.
So I'm gonna raise the bond.
I hope he earned it.
I actually have a car that I'm trying to sell on Craigslist.
Stop talking. I'm gonna give you a public defender. Michael Ray.
Hey, he was just trying to sell his car.
Next up is Michael Ray.
He committed a crime just to plug his car.
4 charges.
Your Honor, the county's requesting $25,000 full cash.
Hey, thanks for the 5 gift subs. Everyone loves Ray. Thank you, Ray.
You think that's funny?
I think it's hilarious.
Sarcasm won't get him a reduction, and the judge lets him know it.
He's lucky I didn't hold him in contempt.
Ray just had his bond doubled.
Nice, let's triple it.
But as he re-enters the hallway,
and then he can negotiate it down.
Bring him in.
This guy's watched way too many anime moments here. He thinks he's like really badass.
Ray's language isn't the only thing to upset the judge. According to court officials, the defendant also gave her the middle finger. When, sure enough, Ray comes back for more.
Here he comes. Sir, I'm holding you in contempt for what you did.
What you're holding me in?
And so...
You shut man.
All right, you can take it back.
That's right.
That felt like something right out of GTA RP.
He's done.
I think we need to...
Yeah.
Can we bring him back?
Yes.
What started out as 4 serious charges has grown into a grand total of 10.
Nice, go for 20, don't be a bitch.
Yeah. No, I figure that's just a
That definitely cut deep on the lawyer being called the useless like that.
Thanks for being a fan of
He
Court
didn't like
Cam,
that.
where it's very early on a Sunday morning, and all is quiet. Until...
Oh, shit! I was expecting that, but I thought it was gonna be like a garbage truck.
Their pickup right through the front of the building to steal an ATM machine just off camera.
Oh.
This is just one of a series of recent break-ins involving
I see.
ATMs, just as the truck hits the gas to dislodge the ATM. With nothing more than what appears to be a bare cash deposit box,
Nice.
the thieves come up empty and drive off.
What do you mean empty? They were there for that little
3
box.
days later, after the courthouse boarded up the windows,
This is some fucking straight up Tom and Jerry shit.
Finish the job.
Angel Lopez, Thomas Ortega, and Toby Perkins are arrested and charged with theft.
Could they have woken the guy in the top left up for his mugshot at least?
Their lookouts. Thanks for being a fan of Court Cam, Subscribe to
Holy
A&E
shit. So they actually did get money out of them? Isn't it extraordinarily difficult to actually break into one of those? Like, here, let me see. What would I type in to find that? Maybe this would work? Well, yeah, now it just looks like I'm planning a crime here. This is So this story is one that I've covered on stream a couple times. I find this whole saga very, very interesting. I wonder how many like OG Twitch viewers we have in the chat right now, because this is vintage. This is like a fine wine of internet cringe and drama. This was like the first big Twitch drama story. This man right here, Zillion OP. He used to stream League of Legends in a wheelchair. I believe he talked about disabilities, as well as even did like charitable things for disabilities, if memory serves me correctly. And then eventually during a stream, he inexplicably stands up and walks to the bathroom after being in the chair for his entire streaming career. It was one of the most miraculous moments ever captured on film. That guy must have bought Peter Popoff's holy water or something, because in that moment he could walk yet again and everything was fine. And then once he was caught with his pants down, I think he's tried to defend himself, saying, I never explicitly said I was disabled forever. So he said it was like only a temporary wheelchair, and that he didn't actually mislead people. I'm a little foggy on the details, but the story is a wild one. So I'm glad Sunny V2 is covering it.
Incident, he'd go on to create a Twitch account before gaining
he was very
a reputation
popular
for his personality, gaming skills, and finally, his physical disability as a wheelchair streamer. For some reason, Zillion wasn't actually disabled. That would be until January 2013, approximately 6 months after beginning his
I thought it was a lot longer.
when Zillion OP's promotional Facebook page would be hacked, creating initial suspicions that his apparent disability was nothing more than one giant hoax. I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's a chip-in button for a charity. Let me steal your money, maybe. We're not like you, sir. We wouldn't mess with your PayPal.
What the fuck is this?
We're above stealing money from those in need. Hey guys, I'm sick. Donate to me to pay my hospital bills. I'm giving away a keyboard that was given to me by another fool who doesn't care that I scam my viewers for money. Hi guys, who wants to raise money for some kids? For example, on the 10th of January 2013, just 10 days before his Facebook was hacked, he'd be banned on Diablo 3 as a result of beginning his stream whilst having a botting script active. The incident will be shared to Reddit over 700 upvotes, with a post also explaining that Zillion lied to his audience about the ban, stating that it was for account sharing as opposed to the reality for botting. Although...
Man, that is some classic Reddit. I have a disappoint. Does the Narwhal Bacon at Midnight Brothers? I didn't know he had like a history of scamming. I actually thought it was just that one event. I thought he had a really positive reputation up until he fucking stood up like the Undertaker getting up from a bad fall. Just raising from the wheelchair and going to get a snack or whatever.
4 months later, on the 5th of April 2013, something would happen while Zillion was streaming, proving this Reddit comment correct, whilst ending Zillion's entire career in the process.
Watch, check it out. Get on your mount and follow me.
Maybe I don't want to follow you.
God, this clip is classic.
Our dog, oh my god, we took our dog, like, to the fish shop today, because the dog loves just...
I can't believe it! Oh my god! Anything is possible!
If you believe that actions speak louder than
and then a
words,
poltergeist
Zillion turning his camera
tilts the
downwards
camera
to hide his empty wheelchair was basically
we
the
weren't
same
meant to
as
see
him
that.
saying, I've just exposed myself doing something that I definitely shouldn't have been doing. However, the chat would continue to discuss what they had just seen, and seemingly in a state of panic, Zillion joined the discussion by both gaslighting and lying to his audience about what had just...
So how do you even come back from that? Like, okay, everyone knows Twitch chat has some of the dumbest fucking people of all time. That's just the internet in general. And of course people were going to defend him, but how? Like, I can't even wrap my head around how you would possibly explain away the fact that this guy, who has led you to believe that he is in a wheelchair, all of a sudden just stood up and then tilted his camera down and ended stream. What the fuck? Did Zill just stand? No, I fell. I pushed off my chair and ate it. That was the most controlled fall of all time. Yeah, I was gonna say that I figured you were holding yourself up with your arms. The delusion is always crazy. Oh my god. This is bad. Even blaming the dog. That's real low. That's real low. And this just makes me lose any amount of faith in, like, common sense here. They all just watched him stand up. He didn't fall. and the dog pouring water on his wires wouldn't all of a sudden knock his webcam straight down. People just believe fucking anything.
Zillion deleting any comments calling him out instantly suggested that he was guilty. His story didn't exactly
No, he was just embarrassed
of falling. If he had really fallen out of his seat, how was he able to get up and move the camera so that it was no longer facing the empty wheelchair? Additionally, after the VOD was clipped, viewers noticed that Zillion walked away without...
Do you remember a bit ago when we watched a recent interview about this situation? Yeah, I can't remember what he said though. It was like an hour and a half long and I can't remember a fucking word that he said about it. Do you remember? Because I don't. I'm sure it'll be in this video, but let's just get a little, you know, deep into the manga here. Because he had some kind of, like, outrageous excuse or something. The earthquake was so intense that it wobbled him to steady feet the entire time. Like gyroscopic.
So, what a day. I wake up to be informed of what has happened. I read all the articles, all I can say is karma. You deserve everything you have coming to you, Zillion. I do hope you put those legs to use and get a real job. You owe a lot of people money now. What I find funniest about this is your terrible cover-up of it all. The streaming business is a much better place without creeps like you in it. Oh, and by the way, this isn't James. It's Matt in brackets Hypno, you fool, with Hypno being an old friend that Zillion used to stream with from around 1 year prior.
I called it. I knew it'd be a friend.
So
it is reprehensible.
His actions are a huge slap in the face to Twitch community members with real disabilities such as Aaron and groups such as Able Gamers who have helped spread a message of inclusiveness and positivity to not only the Twitch
This is a really good statement from Twitch.
As a whole.
Twitch should do shit like this now. Like if there's a really bad actor and they do take a stance against it, this is a good statement. Like this is actually a good PR piece. But this is 2013 Twitch. Maybe they don't have this same group here.
There's Zillion. He has legs. We got Zillion. It should be.
Nice.
It's live. They're gonna go nuts. They're gonna be like, "What, Zillion?" Because no one's seen you since it went. He has no beard. Look at this. No beard. Look at how much he lifts.
Oh, he upgraded.
Shaved his 20. However, this would change once again when the internet would discover a channel that looks suspiciously familiar, going by the name of It's Bluish. The streamer running this suspicious page was clearly Zillion, and it would hilariously be the person who originally hacked his Facebook page in 2013, who would once again expose him.
Damn, this guy's like the Batman.
Subreddit in a post.
Zillion's his Joker.
Me at concerts, me out traveling, me out doing everything. This was just like I was in a wheelchair. I did get better, and I am obviously no longer in a wheelchair.
Unless for some reason Zillion had lived a year of his life in a wheelchair for the sole purpose of looking disabled prior to beginning his streaming journey, it was basically confirmed that Zillion was most certainly disabled, or at least had been temporarily. Throughout the interview, it feels as though Zillion is speaking in a way that's truthful. It doesn't feel like he's trying to hide anything. So under the assumption that this whole discussion wasn't yet another lie, here's what they discovered. Firstly, Zillion wasn't lying about either the car accident or needing to be in a wheelchair.
I was in a wheelchair for 2 years. I was in a car accident, which put me in a wheelchair for more than a year prior to streaming.
Okay. And therefore, the disability was never fabricated.
When you are integrating your disability so much in stream that it may have put off a certain image that you were wheelchair bound when you weren't. Are you willing to admit that perhaps?
The big thing is, I remember now when we watched this, he still tried to cover it up by saying he fell out of the chair because he didn't want to admit he didn't need the wheelchair anymore. So it's still entirely his fault for misleading everyone. Like, even to the bitter end of that channel, he was still lying when he stood up, and it was accidental. He didn't want people to know. If that didn't happen, he may very well have done that for forever. Years down the line, until he fucked up. So it's, again, it's not like it was just, oh, it was an accident. I didn't want people to, you know, it wasn't like I was trying to hide this. I guess I just was a victim of my own hubris for trying to battle these things in private, and I should have shared more. Well, no, he blatantly lied. Like, he did blatantly lie when he stood up. He tried to say he fell, the dog spilled water and ate his homework, which is why the webcam tilted down. So, I still think that it is entirely scummy.
However, it did seem like Twitch was in the process of unbanning his OG Zillion account, so perhaps he'll have another opportunity to do his stream the right way in the future.
Yeah, I mean, didn't really address the lying about it at the end when he was revealed to be no longer wheelchair bound. But yeah, that is a wild story. I do remember that one as it unfolded. It's always nice to get a refresher on exactly what that was.
The website was created by Craig Newmark in 1995.
Holy shit, wait, that's the Craig? That's Mr. List himself? I've never looked up the history of Craigslist. I thought it was just like a random name they pulled out because Craig is super standard, like very generic NPC kind of shit. Nice.
But you'd be surprised to know that in 2018, the website had at least 60 million monthly users in the US alone. So with all these people interacting on the site, it's no doubt that some horrible ones slipped through the cracks. Welcome to the dangerous world of Craigslist criminals. Philip Markoff.
What?
Philip
Wait, what is that? Wasn't there a guy who put his nudes in a desk he sold on Craigslist? That's fucking big brain. I mean, maybe. Probably, I guess. I don't know if he did it on purpose, man. He was just selling his desk and probably just forgot about his dick pics, man. Was that like a big story or something? I could absolutely imagine that happening. It shit probably happens at garage sales all the time.
Though if we know anything about murderers, it's that they look average. He was a big 6'3" white male that was
sometimes they look exactly like what you think they would.
Not only was he goofy, but he was incredibly smart when it came to schooling, as he was in the National Honor Society. Though he wasn't as smart when it came to hiding evidence. Let me explain.
Hey, fun fact, I was also in the National Honor Society.
The erotic services section, set up dates with
but
girls
I don't really
who were
use Craigslist.
advertising themselves in the Boston area, escorts, and robbed them at gunpoint. Though one sadly ended up being killed, which was Weston Copley Place. Once he entered, he pointed a pistol at her, handcuffed her with zip ties, and robbed her. Keep in mind, this dumbass wasn't wearing a mask. Not only that, but he was wearing black gloves to cover his fingerprints, but was persistent on removing his phone number from Trisha's phone, and I guess the gloves are too thick so he couldn't really type, so he removed the gloves to type, and the fingerprints were on the phone. It's like, you dumb mother... He then tied her to the doorknob from the inside, taped her mouth shut while leaving fingerprints on the roll of tape. He also took a knife out of his pocket and cut the hotel phone lines. He stole $800 in cash and her credit cards. He also picked up some of her underwear that was on the floor, put it in his pocket, and left. 4 days later,
oh, a little car freshener.
2009.
Huffing the fumes.
Age 25, became Markoff's second victim. She was an aspiring model from New York City and was described as an extremely happy party girl who liked having fun. Just like Trisha, she also advertised herself in the erotic services section on Craigslist. Police believe that he immediately pulled the gun on her once he entered the room, got at least one plastic tie on her wrist, she fought back, and things escalated quickly. He pistol whipped her on the head and then shot her 4 times. Police say he didn't have to kill her. She had no weapons. Getting caught. One of Julissa's friends found the emails that Philip and Julissa had exchanged and contacted authorities, explaining that she had his IP address. Detectives traced the IP to an apartment belonging to Philip Markoff, a 23-year-old med student at Boston University. He had a fiancée at the time who knew nothing about what he was up to on Craigslist. He was arrested shortly after. During trial, he pleaded not guilty, which was dumb because detectives found the gun he used to murder Julissa in his room with his fingerprints on it. His trial was
circumstantial evidence.
Was in prison. On August 15, 2010, 1 year and 1 day after his wedding would have taken place, Markoff was found dead in his cell. He had used a knife made from a pen and a piece of metal to cut arteries in his ankles, legs, and neck. He had also swallowed toilet paper and tied in a plastic bag over his head with gauze. Additionally,
this dude did 8 different suicides.
And their pet. This dude killed himself in the jail, which would have been a happy ending, but sadly he had to kill a girl, right? Let's move on to the next one.
God damn. So that's like 8 different ways of killing himself. My God, he used every ounce of that med student knowledge. Jesus. How long ago was that? What year did he say? I imagine this had to be during like the height of Craigslist. Because I remember like, they're all, 2009? Is that what it was? Okay. I remember back in, God, it must have been high school. When was the big Craigslist killer that got a lot of press? I think it was high school for me. And when that happened, everyone was like, yeah, it sounds about right for Craigslist. Do people still use it for services and shit? Like, do people still advertise this kind of shit on there? Because like I said, I haven't used it in a while. Yeah, they do? God, that's gotta be the riskiest shit ever. Why? Bro, just fucking like pass out flyers at a gas station or something. You're a lot better off. Because even in high school, all of us were like, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what you'd expect from Craigslist services. Just a bunch of fucking psychopaths. I don't know why you would trust that. It's terrible. It's scary. I use it for cars. Well, yeah, you can buy shit from Craigslist, man. I don't think you're gonna run into a guy who's gonna, like, fuck your shit up over a beat-up bug or anything. Like, you could probably buy cars if you want. I'm talking about the services category.
Anne-Marie Linscott. In November 2007,
why does that name
three
sound so
California
familiar?
residents were searching Craigslist for job opportunities. During the email exchange, Linscott, who was a Michigan resident, asked each of the three individuals responding to her advertisement to quote-unquote eradicate a woman living in Oroville, California.
What the
yes,
fuck?
she put up a hitman ad on Craigslist. She provided additional information on the
big word for that,
to include a
eradicate.
description of the victim,
That's not just
her
like
age,
kill
and her
or
employment address. Linscott
beat.
offered a hefty payment
That's
upon completion
big.
of the quote-unquote. In April of 2007, things began getting extremely scary. A Molotov cocktail with a fuse was found under the bed of the man's wife, named Carol. Thankfully,
What
it didn't
the
go off. Then the Craigslist ad we were talking about was
A
made. She was
Molotov
looking for,
cocktail
quote-unquote,
time
silent
bomb?
assassins to eradicate a 56-year-old woman from Oroville named Carol. The price? $5,000. An extremely popular public website. Anne-Marie, you should watch these videos right here in case you really want to hire a hitman. I made videos talking about it. That was a joke.
True, he does give
You
like
also go watch
tutorials,
those
I
videos
guess.
And also watch The Dangerous World of 4chan Criminals. So those three people that engaged in the
As you
ad
said,
called the
Pika
authorities, and
and
then the
Kopi?
authorities got the FBI involved. Anne-Marie Linscott was sentenced to 151 months in prison, aka 12 and a half years. That means she was released last year in 2021. So
Wow.
Anne-Marie, if you're watching this, let me tell you right now, Craigslist isn't the way to go. It's not really what the cool kids use anymore. If you want to get on a website that everyone uses to hire hitmen, then go to tubmerch.creator-spring.com.
Oh, what a
When you buy merch
plug.
from that website, like you get hitmen like Brown. Jason Brown was a 25-year-old man in 2014
Here's
and
the
would
prime.
find thrill out of adopting
Mr.
dogs that were
and they
looking
give
for
some
homes
Hunter.
and torturing them until death. I won't be getting into details on how
Jesus
exactly
Christ.
he tortured, recorded everything. The recordings were only seen by the judge, the lawyers, and a detective. But in the video, Brown could be heard saying that this was his house of pain, and he wanted to turn them into a fur coat. Brown is heard saying in one of the recordings that he found dogs through Craigslist and looked for, quote, pets free on the ads. So he would just go on the search term, just claim that he couldn't remember committing the acts because he was injecting heroin, methamphetamine, and cocaine during more than a 2-month-long binge. The recordings were taken by Brown as well as
Oh,
two
then he
friends
can't
who
be held accountable.
Jason Brown was sentenced to 28 years in prison.
Hey,
And
fuck
I know
yeah.
what you guys just said. You said, that's it? Yeah, I know, right? I don't know either. This fucker deserves life in prison.
That's so much more than I thought it would be. Usually animal crimes are like days in prison. So that's huge. Like that's big in that world. Typically, like, we watched the video not long ago. Well, a better example, the YouTube cat killer, the guy that murdered cats on video and used to just post them freely on YouTube. That guy only saw jail for like a day. I don't even know if he saw jail. I'm just assuming because I don't remember now. But like that shit does not carry hefty sentences usually. So at least that guy got a fat one. I still haven't seen Don't Fuck With Cats. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the YouTuber. I even made a video on him like a year or whatever ago. I forgot his name. Pollution, I think. Yeah, that's what. Pollution. That kid, like, he wasn't in jail for any length of time at all. Luke Magnotta? Luke Magnotta started as an animal killer and then didn't he murder a human being? I always think that someone that's like murdering and decapitating and bathing in the blood of animals and whatever always deserves heftier penalties in prison because there's such a strong correlation with that behavior and becoming a real serial killer. So like someone like Pollution Entertainment, that guy should still be in jail for a long time. Luke Magnotta got his victim from Craigslist as well. Jesus Christ, really? Spooky vid time? We can see what Mr. Nightmare's up to, sure. 5 most disturbing videos taken in an attic.
Of course, it'll usually be dismissed as house settling noises, because who would ever imagine that someone or something would actually be up in your attic, or God forbid on your roof, right?
Ooh, hold on, before this gets going, I think I already know one he's going to show. He's going to show that one we watched a while ago from Inside Edition where the neighbor made a secret passage into their attic in order to watch them sleep. And the guy put in like a GoPro camera to watch him, and it's just like this weird bald guy who looks like Schmeagol from Lord of the Rings, just like crawling through and looking down at them. You guys remember him? Man looked like he was perpetually covered in a thick film of grease. And then he got arrested, and I think his the punishment was he's not allowed to do that again. Like, I don't think he went to jail or anything, he's not allowed to go back to their house. It was basically, hey, can you not go into their attic? He got caught because the father noticed one night that there was a light coming from his attic, and it was the guy with a flashlight looking down or something. It was crazy. Shit was wild. It's a tier 1 crustacean.
While these videos may make you want to install cameras, Jerome and Ashley
this is the one. Immediately into it.
With their 10-month
yes.
baby, were living comfortably.
This is the one I was talking about.
Above their heads in their own home. The row house next door that was being renovated was owned by 73-year-old Robert Havrilla, who's described.
There he literally looks like a guy that would be crawling in attics. Like, this is the attic boogeyman. It's like he was born in there and never left. So he keeps trying to find his way back. Yeah, fuck yeah. Immediately into this one.
Very reclusive and known to keep to himself. Jerome was in bed one night when he heard noises above him in the attic. The kinds of noises that weren't just house noises.
Yep,
he knew somebody was up there. Then he noticed a light shining through a pipe, as if it were searching for a place to look through. So Jerome installed a surveillance camera in his attic, and a day later, caught on tape was many people's worst night. His neighbor Robert in his attic, carrying a power drill, looking into the bedroom. His neighbor had made a removable wall to gain access to their attic. It wasn't just the attic, though. Jerome also found perfectly round holes in the common wall between the two row houses. The shapes indicate that Robert the neighbor was drilling holes through the wall. Cops were called, and Robert was charged with stalking and trespassing, which he pled not guilty to. Robert's attorney made a statement that his client had no bad intentions. He claims he was in the attic for maintenance reasons connected to his renovations, not to peep on anyone or do anything malicious.
Yeah, he looks like he's renovating up there. No. You see, Your Honor, my client was actually up there looking for lost Pokemon cards. With the recent boom in prices, he realized his grandchildren must have had some good ones that he stored in the attic at one point. There was nothing weird about it. And the fact that he had a flashlight while looking through the pipe into the neighbor's house is truly just a coincidence and a misunderstanding.
Anybody with half a brain would know this is BS. The many holes drilled in the common wall and through the ceiling in the attic were without a doubt meant to spy on his neighbors. Strangely enough, it appears Robert was aware of the camera that Jerome had placed, as he looks right at him.
It's like an alien.
So why he continued to do
what he did is
unknown. When the window doesn't provide a good view of what it could be, he decides to go outside for a better view, and this is what he sees.
Let's see. Oh, it's gonna be Slender Man. I feel it.
Fuck is that?
Oh, well, this shit is fake. Damn. Wait, what is that? Something from a Studio Ghibli movie? What am I looking at?
Hey.
It's half ahead of what looks to be either some kind of creature or perhaps somebody wearing a mask.
Fuck. Oh my god. It's La Llorona.
No other information is known of this video. Was it some kind of creature? Some people in the comments were saying it could be an owl. Others think it was a person in a mask with malintent,
man, what the fuck?
possibly trying to break into the house.
Man, what the fuck? An owl? Bro, what kind of... What? It's just a staged YouTube video. I don't think any fucking owl looks like that.
And his dad sounded concerned and told him to go upstairs and check on the hot water heater, which is actually in their attic, a very uncommon place to find a water heater. Steven's dad was worried that something was wrong with the water heater and that the sounds he was hearing were coming from it. So Steven obliged and proceeded to go up into the attic, but not without recording.
Well, that's another fake one. Mr. Nightmare has always done, like, real shit from everything we've seen. And the first video here was real, but the last couple here have been fake. Or at least this one seems like it's about to be fake.
Steven checked the water heater and saw that it was completely fine. He then appeared to be leaving the attic, and that's when he heard a sound that caught his attention. As Steven heard something come from inside a large, long box, he took a closer look at it and saw someone's eye peeking out.
He's just trying to use his imagination like SpongeBob and Patrick.
The 17-year-old was
Leave him alone.
in shock. And
I would have stomped that box flat. No, you would not. You would not. I know for a fact you wouldn't. I don't know you personally, but I know you wouldn't. Assuming that's real, there's not a single goddamn person in this chat that would have, like, fought that guy. All of you would have run. No way. You're not like the hero of an anime. I know I do this too. Everyone comes up with these like crazy scenarios I would stop a school shooting if I was there. I would charge him and then disarm him using Dale Brown's kung fu techniques from the Detroit Survival Fitness. I would be the man to do it. But you wouldn't. You just wouldn't.
So the man decides to go up there with a light and camera and check it out.
In gamer? That Ray William Johnson?
The man looks around for several minutes, but doesn't see anything out of the ordinary. As the wife is clearly very distressed and scared, the man maintains a calm, reassuring demeanor about the situation.
What's going on with the audio? They're going through a tunnel? Oh, wait, that was actually Gollum. That is literally Gollum.
It appears to be the wrinkled, gray face of an old man, peering down at the couple for a very brief moment, with an eerie expression. It quickly disappears back into the darkness above, going undetected by the couple. Some people believe that it may have been a homeless elderly man who was taking refuge in the couple's attic.
No, I don't think it is. I don't. This is like a weird stock asset of, I guess, Dobby the house elf. That is not a wrinkly old man. This dude, like, looked down the ladder like a boss fight in Dark Souls. He just, like, swung his head over out of nowhere. It's not like a wrinkly old man. Plus, the guy that went in the attic would have seen him.
Yeah, gotta climb on them.
God, what oh, it's like an infrared. I feel like I'm in an AC-130 right now. Like that Modern Warfare mission. Good lord.
These are the shingles.
Hey, thanks for the 5 gift subs, gamer. Appreciate it, man. Here's some Gorski. Wait a minute, that's the same goddamn guy that was in the other attic. What kind of cryptid is this? The attic bald man?
Oh my god.
He grabbed his rifle and returned to his roof, but the creature was no longer there. The creature seems to be bald with a large round head, but no facial features can be seen.
Damn. Well, one of those videos was real. The other 4 were also real. Goddamn, there's an epidemic right now of rakes living on people's roofs, I guess. Fuck, we're gonna have to do something about that. It's rare that I can't yap up a wacky intro, but learning about this menace has left me stunned. I just saw this video from EWU Body Cams about this guy that would hide cameras in like every bathroom on the planet, it seems like. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got hidden cameras in my own porcelain throne territory there. Like he's infiltrated my domain and is filming me.
I'm calling because we just received an anonymous tip that someone has a camera in our employee bathroom and is uploading videos online.
You still haven't raised my charges. Where's our charges? You're not supposed to be judgmental to anybody's crimes, by the way.
What the hell is even that? You're not supposed to be judgmental of crimes? I don't remember hearing that in the Miranda rights. I can't even really imagine that. Like, you show up to a murder scene, you catch the suspect, and you just happen to say, like, hey, buddy, look, I don't mean to be judgmental here, but you strike me as a bit of a jerk for this, you know, taking a lot of human lives here. I know, sue me, I don't mean to judge. I feel like as far as judgment goes, crimes are a pretty solid one for people to form an opinion on, rightfully so. If you are found guilty of secretly recording thousands of people using the restroom, you're a fucking freak, and people will judge you as such.
On July 19th, 2022, the police in Ann Arbor, Michigan responded to the Briarwood shopping mall after receiving this unusual call about video footage from a store bathroom being uploaded online. Horrifically, the resulting investigation into a tech-savvy peeping Tom would spread throughout the city of Ann Arbor. The final number of cameras and victims is enough to make your skin crawl.
It's not exaggerating either. It actually did, by the end of this investigation, have my fucking jaw on the floor with how many cameras and how many videos and how all over the place it was. There wasn't a bathroom in Michigan that was spared his peeping. Like, this guy is like the supervillain of shitters. There was nowhere safe, no porcelain throne left unsullied by his eyes. His near omniscient eyes. He dedicated his whole life, put his soul into his craft of spying on every bathroom in Michigan. He was literally like the architect from The Matrix.
This morning, it was my boss who took the phone call. I don't know what time it was this morning from a restricted number. He was like, it's a restricted website. You're not going to find it, but I just wanted to let you know.
The responding officer headed to the bathroom to take a look for herself. Notably, the bathroom was usually reserved for employees.
Like sideways, yeah, on that shelf. But, I mean, I don't know how. I know they can be tiny.
Police would learn soon enough that the employees at Altered State were not the only ones to have their privacy violated. In an unanticipated shocker, the police would find over 200 hidden camera videos from no less than 7 different bathrooms throughout the city over the next month and a half.
So this was the first domino to fall here that led them down this crazy trail. They found so many cameras and videos from this guy. It was like actually hunting Riddler trophies in the Arkham series. It was crazy. He violated so many people's privacy, spied on so many people, and it turns out this is only the tip of the iceberg because he actually has a previous case very similar to this and had in his possession 7,000 videos of unclothed or partially clothed individuals that he filmed without their consent. 7,000! That's more than like all of Markiplier's uploads since he started YouTube. That is an unbelievable amount. And that was in the course of 5 years from 2010 to 2015. We'll get to that here in a little bit, but this guy's entire life has been dedicated to violating people's privacy.
All were filmed without consent between January and July 2022. Horrifically, this included illegal images of children. The depravity didn't stop there. When searching the offender's laptop, the police found he had engaged with online adult websites, where images and personal information of unknowing victims were distributed. Police suspected the culprit intended to participate in such exchanges after they found additional images of the victims taken from social media downloaded to his laptop.
Just when you thought it couldn't get worse. So, it's pretty clear he was also sharing these with other fucking evil creeps out there, and was even distributing personal information of the people that he would identify through these hidden cameras. So from the sound of things, he would broadcast this onto restricted websites, and additionally, he also had illegal images of children. This guy is legitimate evil.
Even though the anonymous caller believed the video he saw was a live stream, he could have been mistaken. The working theory was that the culprit could have put the camera up at the start of a shift and then taken it home to upload the footage.
So, back to what started this whole trail of breadcrumbs that they followed was an anonymous caller tipped them off that at this Altered State in this restroom, there was a live stream of people using that bathroom, of course being non-consensually filmed, and so officer went to the scene. They searched high and low for a camera, but they couldn't find it, but they did see that a lot had been like adjusted and moved around. So it's not that they completely disregarded this as just some kind of like phony baloney nonsense. It's one of those things where they started speculating, well, maybe it wasn't a live stream, maybe they had taken the camera home and uploaded the footage to those sites, and the caller was just mistaken thinking that it was live.
Something else the anonymous caller said prevented the current lack of evidence from stonewalling the investigation. The man fitting the caller's description was 36-year-old Eric Deshaun Morton. This was not his first run-in with police.
But everyone said he was going to the bathroom a lot last night, and they thought that he just like was trying to not work.
It seemed likely that Eric was up to something far more nefarious than just slacking.
Yeah, jacking. This disgusting asshole has an entire history of doing shit like this. The anonymous caller was telling them about someone that could have been behind it, and the person they described fit this man's description. So they looked into him a bit. They were talking about how the previous night he was going to the bathroom a lot. I guess he drank way too much soda, so he just had the big-time pee-pee, a lot of urine in his bladder. But they speculated, like, this is probably when he was setting up the camera or tending to the camera.
Especially when the manager added that he made a habit of using the ladies' restroom rather than the men's room. When he was previously asked about this, Eric made the excuse that he used the ladies' room because it was stocked with gloves, which he said he liked to wear while he worked.
A bulletproof defense right there. It's watertight. Man rolled a 20 on the charisma check. That was impressive. So, he had a habit of using the ladies' room, and his reason for it was, well, they have gloves there. I like gloves. Checkmate. Damn, his story checks out. This guy's good.
After learning that Eric's son was present, the officers decided to uncuff him. They escorted his son outside to play and brought out some snacks to keep the child occupied while the search progressed. A pen camera containing a micro SD card was connected via USB. When going through one of the bedrooms, they found a small black bag containing more hidden cameras, some of which were like the pen camera found in the living room. Computer forensics experts discovered his stash of more than 200 secretly recorded videos of people using the bathroom.
Unsurprisingly, the authorities didn't necessarily buy the excuse he used for the ladies' room being the really nice gloves that they have stocked in there, so they ended up getting a search warrant. They then arrived at his abode. He mentioned his son was there, so they brought his son outside to play while they searched the house. While searching, they found tons of hidden cameras. They even found a pin camera that was actively plugged into a computer. So you had all these like Mission Impossible doodads and gadgets, all of which used for surveillance, hidden surveillance. And they confiscated some packages and a lot of this for evidence. And then eventually the forensics experts found his stash, which was 200 videos of people using the bathroom. Which, you know, maybe there's a perfectly valid explanation. Maybe he was just checking to make sure they weren't doing back-to-front wiping, because, you know, that in and of itself is a sin. Maybe he was just looking out for people's well-being, ensuring proper wiping technique, you know. Maybe there's a perfectly justifiable excuse that he was secretly recording all of these people. Authorities got an arrest warrant. They went to his other job at a hotel and arrested him there, which surprisingly was not his first run-in with the authorities. In fact, in 2015, he was arrested for very similar things.
He'd previously been arrested back in 2015, coincidentally by some of the same officers. In May 2015, Eric was arrested after a woman caught him filming her through a peephole while she used a porta-potty. Further investigation revealed more of Eric's disturbing behavior.
He tried to film a stranger through a porta-potty peephole. I didn't even know porta-potties had peepholes. I'm assuming he custom-built that himself, fucking threw a glory hole in there and used it to film people. Or maybe he, like, built his own, like, soundstage that looked like a porta-potty so it could film people. I don't know. It's fucking crazy, though. The lunacy knows no bounds. And he would actually proudly post about shit on Twitter, too. So, like, they bring up tweets here. Like, the first one they show about him cleaning out his phone, and then he has the gall to say, "In Jesus' name."
In 2022, Eric was confronted by a coworker who found a camera disguised as a phone charger in the women's restroom. It was plugged in and facing the toilet. Eric insisted it was a regular phone charger and fled with the device. Unsurprisingly, he was fired from his job.
I'm assuming this footage they're showing comes from his Twitter, or maybe like he had a TikTok account where he's doing this loser shit like Naruto running while doing a 360. I have no idea. But it is unbelievable the links he would go to for this depravity. So he had a hidden camera phone charger, like this fucking crazy, like, spy gadget that he plugged into a wall outlet in the bathroom and had face the toilet. Like, you can't trust any household objects in Michigan while this guy was on the loose. I didn't realize technology reached the point where we could disguise phone chargers as hidden cameras. So good on the astute observer that happened to pick up on that and then confronted him about it, which of course he denied, and then he snatched it away and Naruto ran off into the distance. But like, it's just crazy. Like, there was nothing sacred in bathrooms across Michigan. You think that that's a skid mark in the toilet from a previous poop? Nope. Actually, a hidden camera from Eric. You think your parents are actually your parents? Nope. Actually, DARPA drones that Eric designed for the sole purpose of trying to convince you to go to the bathroom so they could spy on you for Eric's hard drive. Like, it's unbelievable how many cameras he was setting up in bathrooms across the entire area.
The case escalated to a whole new level when the police found an appalling 7,000 videos of unclothed or partially clothed people in Eric's possession. Some had even been recorded in a private residence. They also found images taken up women's skirts, which suggested he had a camera device attached to his shoe. This particular unpleasant collection dated all the way back to 2010.
7,000 videos. And also, turns out he was a notorious upskirt pervert creep. He put a camera on his shoes so he could take those pictures. And I'm guessing by that tweet would even post it on Twitter. Like, he would publicly post the upskirts, it seems. Or at least some of them. What? Also, it turns out he was arrested in 2006, but that one had actually been scrubbed from the records. That shit was like the cloning planet from Star Wars. Like, it had just been removed from the archives because of a program to try and help young first-time offenders or something like that. Anyway, he posted his $100,000 bail. He did get picked up again later. Turns out him getting arrested didn't mean shit to him. In fact, through some of what they recovered, they were able to actually figure out the timing of a good chunk of it. And some of it he had recorded after being discharged the same day. So he just kind of viewed getting arrested as like a nuisance. It wasn't actually a deterrent or anything for him. It was just kind of like a bump in the road, like he hit a pothole. So now all of a sudden he would have less videos that day, but he still went right back to it the second he had the ability to. It's fucking nuts. And then, in the back of the police car, this is where that clip in the beginning comes from. He then tries like a bunch of like weird conversational tactics and gotchas to try and like, I don't know, strengthen his case of innocence while in the back. And that eventually leads him to stating that the officer is not supposed to be judgmental of crime. So now he starts to try and lecture the officer on morality.
You're not supposed to be judgmental to anybody's crimes, by the way. I need your badge number, by the way.
I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, when I say I do worse, when you say I do worse stuff when I was getting in the car.
No, when you said
you're not supposed to do that.
Don't fight. And I said you're right. It's worse.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to do that.
Why am I not?
Because you're not supposed to judge crimes. You're supposed to be.
Okay. What are you talking about?
All right, man.
Not exactly Phoenix Wright, but a very interesting tactic to try nonetheless. You judged my crime, I'm going to need your badge number, you're not allowed to do that. And the officer's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Didn't even do that.
In 2024, Eric was convicted of 13 felonies. Eric was sentenced to 8 to 20 years and will not be eligible for parole until 2030. The true number of Eric Morton's victims, along with the identity of the anonymous caller who started the investigation, will likely never be known.
They successfully identified 15 victims, and Eric was convicted on these 13 felonies, so he's facing 8 to 20 years. Ideally, he'll get the full 20 behind bars, but the thing is, even 2 decades in the slammer, I feel like the day he gets released, he's going right back to it. He's hopping right back in the saddle. He has been doing this for over a decade, and no matter how many times he's been taken into custody and arrested, or even been in jail for these crimes, he then gets right back to it. Like, this is, to him, his life's mission. This is why he was put on this earth. To compromise bathrooms. It's fucking sickening. Anyway, though, I wanted to just talk about this a little bit. This story just had me stunned. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya. I don't know if it's movies or Grand Theft Auto 5 that's rotted my brain, but when I think of bank robberies, I always picture some absolutely massive event that's thoroughly planned and it's a huge deal. Like when I hear, oh, bank got robbed, I'm expecting the follow-up sentence to be, and then Spider-Man stopped the robbers. I've just always imagined bank robberies like it's straight out of a cartoon, you know, high-tech security, damn near impossible to pull off successfully. You know, you see like an Ocean's 11 movie, you're like, wow, no one's ever going to be able to actually rob a bank like this, huh? They've just always made it sound so fucking wild, saying things like, alright, we're going to need a 20-person team in order to pull this one off successfully, boys. The target is a 15-inch thick steel titanium concrete vault door that's protected by a retina scanner and biological deposit box for fingernail clippings, and it'll only accept it from the head honcho of the bank. You also have to sing the fast part to Eminem's Rap God, and if you fuck up a single lyric, the alarm sounds and the FBI's swarming within 30 seconds. It's also protected by a moat with 45 crocodiles inside and 24/7 security, and they're all ex-Navy SEALs. We're gonna have to be in and out within 5 seconds. The job is simple. You know, like, and my tiny reptile brain hears all this and I'm like, wow. Well, no one's ever going to be able to actually rob a bank, huh? For some reason, I've just been under the assumption that banks in the real world have similar security protocol. Obviously, not with like all the sci-fi security protocols like infrared laser beams everywhere that you have to dodge. I've just been under the assumption that they're highly protected and robbing them is still extremely difficult. But in reality, that's just not the case. Bank robberies happen all the time, and they are nothing like they are in the movies. I want to show you a recent bank robbery that happened in Orlando. This is about a week old. You have to see this to believe it. Yeah, that's right. Your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. The alleged bank robber is Mr. Incredible himself. This dude threw on the Incredibles t-shirt, popped on the shades, and said, "It's showtime." And this was a successful robbery, by the way. I'll explain his method in just a moment, but here's the security camera footage showcasing the culprit. And he got away with it for now. He wasn't caught. He's still at large. So if you do recognize that man, make sure to call that Crime Stoppers hotline. Now, you're probably scratching your head wondering to yourself, where was the robbery? Charles, you forgot to show the climax. You didn't show where he actually robbed them. But you're wrong. You just witnessed the robbery. That was the entire operation. The extent of his plan was to go into the bank and ask for the money. So he demanded money from the teller and they gave it to him and he walked out. That's how that bank robbery went. He didn't flash any weapons. I haven't read any reports about him making threatening remarks or anything like that. They just explained that he demanded money from the teller, which he received, and then fled the scene. Now, the use of the word demanding in the reports leaves a lot of wiggle room for what could have been said or done from the guy to get the money. You know, maybe he went in there and was threatening the employees or seemed to just be like this menace. Maybe he treated it like a Call of Duty Xbox Live lobby and got real loud, vocal, screaming, this and that. And I have always said it's never worth risking your life for the business you work at, you know? If someone comes in there and they're saying, you know, empty the register, you're gonna get it, bub, it's best just to comply. What's the point in risking life and limb for the business you work at? It's simply not worth it, plus insurance covers all of it for the business anyway, so it's just, you really shouldn't be, like, willing to die for your job, I would say. So I have no ill will towards the teller here who did give this guy the money. I just find it super interesting that this is the technique that was used for a successful bank robbery. Just going up and asking for the money. It doesn't seem like he did anything beyond that. His plan was as simple as it gets. Can I have some more of that cash? In fact, I'm not asking. Give me more of that cash. And they did. So I decided to look into it a bit. And it turns out all bank tellers are instructed to always follow the thief's instructions no matter the case, whether a weapon is produced or not. If there is a thief there demanding money, it is the bank teller's responsibility to follow it. They're instructed to follow along no matter what because their safety is of paramount importance. So that caught me by surprise because I wasn't sure. I knew bank tellers always had to go along with like someone who shows a weapon or something. Like they're not going to try and, you know, make a holdout and challenge them to a fist fight in order to disarm them or anything. I just thought like they had to produce like a weapon or some kind of threat or like reasonable showcase that they're going to cause a problem. I didn't realize that if they even just hinted at wanting to rob them, that they had to follow along. So that was a little surprising to me, but it makes complete sense and I completely agree with that ruling as well. However, I still think this guy's planning is lackluster, to say the least. He didn't even make an attempt to conceal his face. The closest thing he has to a disguise is just some sunglasses he picked up at the gas station, probably on the way to the bank. Now, I don't want to undersell the importance of his wardrobe pick for the day. I think the Incredibles shirt really sealed the deal. There's a good chance this crashes and burns if he's wearing just like a normal Abercrombie & Fitch shirt or something, but he threw on the Incredibles shirt. That right there adds like a +10 to intimidation. They didn't know who they were fucking with, and they weren't taking any chances. So he got away with it for now. He's managed to elude authorities, as I understand it. So overall, just like a really goofy, wild story that I happened to stumble across today and just wanted to share with all of you. This is not at all how I imagined bank robberies going in the real world. I very rarely have ever read about any in the real world, aside from like the big ones where there's getaway cars, like massive police chases, shootouts. You know, I haven't heard of any like this, so I just found it to be pretty interesting. That's about it. So yeah. Oh, finally some real karate. Jesus. This is like when I play Tekken. Damn. Holy shit. Finally, 2 deadly warriors. A new challenger. Jesus. Same stance. I see they were all trained by the same master. Oh, God. Who's next? A 9-year-old? Wow, this is a big mismatch. Don't use your legs, use your size advantage. Hey, don't listen to me, I'm not your master actually, I'm not your sensei. Do what he taught you. He seems to have trained you well. I like how they only let him go for like 20 seconds just to make sure nobody accidentally hurts each other so that way the master and the dojo aren't responsible for it. Does this not look like a high school gym? No, it's most certainly a high school gym. Where else are you going to train martial arts? I feel like I'm watching a David Attenborough segment. Like when the bees are swarming the wasp.
Good, good. Sure, okay, when the police get it, we'll see.
Yeah?
We'll see, okay? Yeah.
I think the police are going to be on his side if you're stealing.
You shoplifter, you can't shoplift here.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
It's a law, I guess.
Shoplift here. Go ahead and watch what happens.
Me in the parking lot.
I can't tell if like she's an age illusionist. I can't tell if she's like early 20s or late 40s.
Stop it!
Even her mom and dad are like, well, she kind of deserves it.
No. No.
Let me go!
Oh god, the demon's coming out?
I'm working. She's what's
He's got her with the holy takedown.
Stop it.
Don't bite him either.
Stop it.
Thanks, referee.
You're being filmed, man.
Wait.
Watch your mouth. Be a gentleman.
Who's she, his coach? Remember your training. This is not the way of the Force. God bless the cameraman, finally. This dude deserves Employee of the Month here. Graphic warning, that's... Suspect gets naked as meat falls from his pants. That certainly does sound like Florida. If I was confident in their blurring ability, I would watch that, but I'm not.
Sophisticated method. All right,
they just crash the car through the front and just start grabbing shit.
Say is Melinda Ford, aka Puffy, is about to hit the dressing room of a Bell's department store in Florida.
That's fucking awesome. She's like a kingpin.
Last year we were given access to an unfolding investigation to a crime
stealing another $40 in shirts.
And that's why Sergeant Jim Ostachek from the
Sarge.
Sheriff's Office has spent nearly a
No
month
shoplifter has ever survived an encounter with the Sarge.
Investigators say if they can flip Puffy, they're betting they can round up the returners.
This is like Sly Cooper 2.
The whole booster ring. And radioing their movements to officers outside waiting in the
But how dangerous is Puffy?
Subjects are now exiting the store.
She learns that Pee-wee's double-crossed her, so she takes her out to like a crocodile-infested swamp with an assault rifle.
Vehicle is moving.
Their own share of substations.
We've got you now, Puffy.
Pull over Puffy and Pee-wee right into the station's parking lot.
Puffy comes out with dual katanas.
Puffy is escorted. Police say Puffy finally seems to crack.
Oh, they broke Puffy? She's snitching?
Everybody in her virtual Rolodex.
Oh shit.
She's gonna go to them
police.
He would be like the only
now she's signed as like the lieutenant of the police force.
Helping them.
I never thought that what I did was this serious.
Stealing?
It's very serious.
Well,
it actually is an organized crime.
Puffy, who will a 2-year prison term plus 10 years of probation.
It is stealing. It's pretty
helping to
pretty well known to not be good.
Suspected returners claim she paid to return for stolen merchandise.
Damn, that car is out. Her husband just left. Fuck you, Carol.
Is also one of them.
Damn, this is like the end of an Ocean's 11.
24 months of probation.
God damn. Don't tell me it's filmed like this. Much better. Put a finger in his asshole, it'll calm him down. It's like a human cheat code.
You're not getting away from us, dude.
That's what you think. Right now, he's doing a huge brain scheme where he's sweating and getting it all over his body, making him slippery, and he'll slip right out.
We don't want to hurt you.
I feel like I'm watching the MMA right now with some little ground and pound action, but much slower.
You're going to jail, man.
Please help me.
No, you're going to jail.
He's getting arrested for having a man bun. Yeah, he didn't steal anything, they just don't like the man bun. And it's not a man bun, this is called the top knot, by the way. Hats off to these three dudes for not getting bored of just, like, holding this guy. Little dance with him.
Don't come back to this target, you heard?
He just gets hit by a car. Why is it called held at gunpoint? Oh, it's not over yet. What the fuck? This is 12 minutes? What the fuck? What is he? Does he come back to steal more shit? But this time wearing a mask?
Why'd you let him go?
Oh, he lives across the street.
Over 2 minutes.
Well, the cops are a little late. Oh, he went to steal somewhere else? Bro, this cameraman's getting so much action in one night. Send the cameraman in to negotiate.
Target guys, so it's an assault.
Why is he hiding behind a gas pump? You never know what the shoplifting guy is capable of. He might start tossing Molotov cocktails out of the chimney or something. He's unpredictable. Is there even anyone in there? The shop owner looks very calm. And he's just jogging around, hanging out. What is happening? I thought he had taken hostages. He dressed up as the storekeeper. Yeah, like hitman disguise. He knocked out the storekeeper and put on his disguise. Well, where the fuck is he? Is there even anyone in there at this point? They got the wrong address. They meant to go to the Target. Oh, this is fun. Everyone here is having a good time. He flushed himself down the toilet. He's already getting trained by Master Splinter in the sewers now, yeah. He's gonna come out an even stronger shoplifter. There he is! I see him! That's the guy! Run back to the Target. You're safe there. Jesus, they got a helicopter out here for a shoplifter? Shit must be boring as fucking Sherman Oaks. Finally, some action. I don't care if you only stole 5 packs of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Call everyone, get them all out there. I recently watched a video from a channel called Crime0, which put together this beautiful piece on one of the most interesting criminals I've ever heard of. It just seems like something more out of a cartoon than reality, like the real world Dirty Dan here. I'll quickly hit you with a 30-second Shark Tank pitch to get you interested and tell you why you should care. Basically, an army veteran uses his skills to target McDonald's locations for robbery, and his specialty was busting in through the rooftop. So he would bring tools, cut through the roof, and drop in like an angel on the employees. And he had the manners of an angel too. He'd let them get their coats. They all said that he was really nice, and asked them to just wait in like the ice locker, the freezer. And he'd rob them and leave. And he did this for quite some time before being apprehended. Spoilers, he gets caught. But he doesn't spend too long in jail because he hatched a galaxy brain scheme to break out, which he executed flawlessly, becoming the first prisoner at that facility to ever break out successfully. And he turns back to a life of crime, but no longer going to the Ronald McDonald Playhouse of Pain. Instead, he transitions to living in a Toys R Us and gradually stealing their toys. So what he does is he lives at a Toys R Us by living behind a bike rack. He carves out his own little like hidden man cave in the walls. I won't spoil how it all ends or anything like that, but I just wanted to get like the cliff notes out here because I just find it so wild. I'll put a link to the original video in the description, of course, so you can watch the entire thing, but I'll show you some clips from when we watched it. Alright, let's start with, let's see Roofman. This sounds kind of interesting. I do love criminals that hide in attics and shit.
Nigel and Luke here, and welcome to Crime0. Unbeknownst
Quick question, is there still a massive breakfast rush for McDonald's? I remember when I was a kid that was the shit, but I feel like McDonald's has just such steep competition these days for the breakfast slot. Do we have any other, do we have any like big McDonald's breakfast enthusiasts here? Because near me it's kind of just like, no one cares anymore. Overwhelmingly yes. Wow. I just think the McDonald's breakfast has really fallen off. It's like Netflix stock, but for food.
Once he had the cash, the masked robber walked all of the employees into the cooler where they were locked inside.
It seems kind of nice.
They were asked if they wanted to grab their coats to stay warm while they waited for help to arrive.
They have a police sketch and it's just a Hamburglar.
Fled. While the employees didn't know it at the time.
I saw a video of 2 women stealing everyone's food inside a restaurant. Don't remember where though. Probably McDonald's. Actually, I take that back. Probably Waffle House. Waffle House is a restaurant you go to and you're just looking for fights and maybe like a waffle or two. I think it's a Prime Sun City. So this is basically the only fast food specialized robber is what I'm getting.
While little is known about why Jeffrey Allen Manchester chose to turn to a life of crime, what we do know
the better question is why turn to a life of crime for fast
robber
food?
Known as Roofman, he lived what appeared to be a normal life, to put his military training to a different kind of use. In November of 1998...
Do you really need military training to rob a McDonald's? I feel like you could just go in and be like, I just want the money in the register, and like, make like a finger gun in your jacket and be like, yeah, just take it. Like, I don't think you really needed all like the special ops training just to become like a fucking Filet-O-Fish fondler. Felon. Damn, that would have been better instead of fucking fondler. It doesn't even make sense. But man, this guy, those McDonald's employees, they didn't know who they were fucking with when he busted through their ceiling. One second they're just serving up a quarter pounder, next second they got goddamn Jason Bourne coming through the top turnbuckle. That's
While
cute.
the bulk of Manchester's robberies were committed in California, he would eventually hit McDonald's locations in Nevada, Oregon, Minnesota, Massachusetts, Maryland, Virginia, and both of the Carolinas, making off with an estimated $100,000. Manchester would use tools to cut a hole in the roof of the location, dropping down anywhere from 10 to 15 feet.
So what? I still am super confused on why the roof. What tactical advantage does he get from busting in right here behind the counter as opposed to just rushing through here and jumping over the counter? Just like the element of surprise? No alarm? I guess, but there's still employees there either way, right? Because like they said, he was always really nice to the employees and telling them to get to the back and shit, so there's still people there. So at that point, the alarm's kind of worthless, wouldn't you think?
When they caught up to him a short time later, he was still carrying his rifle, as well as a nylon bag containing drills, pry tools, hammers, and all of the cash he had stolen from the 2 McDonald's locations. True to his reputation, Manchester didn't put up a fight when cornered by officers, instead telling them, quote, "You guys did a really good job today." With Manchester's arrest came a flurry of news articles announcing he was ultimately sentenced to 45 years in prison on charges ranging from robbery with a dangerous weapon to kidnapping. Little did anyone know that his story was far from over.
Really? He busted a hole out of the prison cell?
Following his conviction at the end of 2000, Jeffrey Manchester was sent on the afternoon of June 15th, 2004.
Now the roof
Jeffrey
man can be
Manchester
anywhere.
put his plan into action and escaped from the Brown Creek Correctional Institution, making him the first person to do so in the facility's 11-year history.
Hey, that's pretty
Once
good.
again,
Well, 11 years
the
isn't
Roofman
super long.
was
That's still
free.
good.
It was here, at an unassuming retail plaza, that he would set up a living space that would baffle and amuse both the public and law enforcement
oh my god, he
officials
opened his
for
own
years to
McDonald's.
come.
A
For his
franchise
new
owner.
home, the Roofman chose a Toys R Us store located in a complex called the Triangle Shopping Center, just off of Monroe Road. He raced remote control cars on the roof in the middle of the night, rode bikes around the store for exercise, and managed to get most of the nourishment that he needed by stealing and eating baby food.
Toys R Us had all kinds of snacks. He didn't need baby food. I remember back in the heyday at Toys R Us, you could get like fucking pounds of Doritos and shit. My man's over there just eating like meat sticks and apple mush when he could have been feasting on Doritos and Oreos. This man just said, fuck it, I want the Gerbers. Thanks for some Dreadnought in the prime elbow. This actually seems like something out of Codename Kids Next Door. Like one of the villains infiltrates a toy store that the kids are shopping at in order to torment them and scare them at night. Man's actually the boogeyman at the Jeffrey's Play Palace here. I have looked literally everywhere in the world for a single picture of this man's laboratory here. You know, Dexter's lab kind of shit. Because the way it's described in the video and the way it's described by the authorities, it sounds fucking incredible. He had baby monitor surveillance spy systems set up across the store to keep eyes on everyone, all the workers and all the customers and everything. He had so many toys and shit and a really elaborate setup with running water all in his like secret man cave in the Toys R Us walls. I want so badly to know what that actually looked like. I can't imagine a world where they didn't take pictures of it. They'd have to, right? Like, it's evidence. So surely those pictures exist somewhere, and I am begging any authorities that were involved in this case to just release the photo evidence. Let us see it. Let us just take a gander. I have to know what his little secret lair looked like here in this Toys R Us, because it must have been so fucking cool. Or maybe it's overhyped and it was actually just like a really small like coffin of a couple of toys that he'd stay at. Who knows? But it just sounds so impressive and I would love to know what it looks like. But unfortunately, I can't find a single picture of it anywhere. I can't even find like a single like artistic interpretation of it from anyone from the scene. Nothing. But I know those pictures have to have existed. So I hope someday they surface.
And when the holiday season rolled around, no one donated more to the congregation's toy drive than he did. Of course, these toys were actually all stolen from the store where the roof man was hiding
who's
out.
gonna miss the toys though, huh?
It was during this time that he realized he could tunnel directly through the store's wall into the adjacent unit, which just so happened to be an abandoned Circuit City. This time,
maybe this guy is responsible for Toys R Us and Circuit City going under. After they found out that this man was living in their walls for, it's been almost a year, I think now. They just got so fucking paranoid that the business started sinking. God damn. What a cool setup, though. That is like the most early 2000s shit imaginable. Like, that is your early 2000s shopping starting kit. Toys R Us, Circuit City, and Radio Shack. The only thing he's missing is a Blockbuster. Then he tunnels underground and goes right to Blockbuster or some shit.
He also added more baby monitors to add to his makeshift surveillance system, and even installed a smoke detector and piped in water from the Toys R Us next door.
Wait, how would nobody ever hear that? He piped in his own water line? How would he be able to successfully do that? It's not like, it's not the hardest thing in the world to do that, I guess, if you tee off of an already existing line, but still, I feel like you'd absolutely hear that, because you have to like drill into the walls and shit, and you have to tee off that pipe. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, I guess just doing it like in the dead of night without anyone being around, you'd probably never notice.
In order to continue to travel between the Toys R Us and the Circuit City as he pleased, Manchester left the tunnel between the two units intact.
I bet so many kids saw him behind the bike rack and just got scared and didn't say anything.
In with the walls on both sides. On December 26th, he decided it was time to pull off the big robbery that he had been planning. Unfortunately for the roof man, when he tried to pull off the crime, things did not go according to plan. Similar to the 2000 robbery in Belmont, when he held up the Toys R Us, employees were able to contact police sooner than he anticipated. Manchester responded by punching her, stealing her gun, and running away.
That's aggressive.
Amazingly,
he used to be so nice.
The roof man seemed cornered, he managed to escape through his trapdoors undetected. It's unclear whether or not he returned to the hideout within the Circuit City, identified him as the man who had been going by the name John Zorin, and were shocked to discover who he really was. In a bid to cover his tracks, Manchester burned down a dentist office where he had gotten his teeth fixed while on the run.
How does that...
He was worried that police would be able to find his dental records there.
Okay.
This had the opposite effect of what he intended.
Prison really changed
and only made investigators more suspicious. Manchester showed up, believing he would be able to see his girlfriend one last time before continuing his life on the run. He arrived with flowers, but was arrested by waiting officers before he could make it inside the apartment. Manchester is currently incarcerated at the Central Prison in Raleigh, where his projected release date is December 4th, 2036. Do you know of any other cases like this that you think we should check out?
What a cool story.
Tell us about them in the comments section below. Thank you for watching.
That prison is 5 minutes from my house. Bro, you might want to move just in case the roof man gets out. He'll start living in your walls. Sleep in fear, man. Sleep in fear.